Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm going to be going over 5 profitable ways to train your magic. I get asked this question a lot, how do I train my magic level up? And a lot of people go to like alchemy or stuff like that, and that's really not the best way to go about it. So today we're going to be looking over some good money making methods that will give you a good amount of magic experience. Now keep in mind a lot of these are going to be a bit higher level, like 60 magic plus, but this is when it really starts to slow down anyway, and it's good to have a good way to train your magic that's actually profitable or at least break even, so you don't actually waste all your money. So starting in at number 5 is a pretty well known one, but still good nonetheless, and that is charging orbs. We're going to be doing air orbs because they are generally the most profitable, however not all the time. To charge air orbs you're going to need level 66 magic, fire orbs are 63, and earth and water are down here as well. However, air orbs are the simplest to run, and I like them the most because of that. You don't have to go through a giant dungeon or go through agility shortcuts or stuff like that. You just kind of run up north. It's pretty easy. What you're going to need is a air battle staff, some weight reducing equipment. However, be careful because this is going to be in the wilderness and you want to make sure you're keeping, let's say, you're graceful if you die. You're going to need a bunch of Amulet of Glories because you're going to be teleporting back to Edgeville, and some energy potions in the bank. I bring with me super anti-poison because I think there's a spider that can poison you, which is a big pain in the ass. You'll need 3 times the amount of orbs you're bringing, so I need 81 cosmic runes for that. So it's possible to gain about 35k to 40k magic experience, which isn't the highest by any means, but you are going to be getting between 300 and 500k an hour doing this method, so it's definitely worth it for that reason. If you do it right at level 66, you're going to be leveling up fairly quickly and actually making some decent cash. I wouldn't really recommend doing this once you get into the 70s, 80s, or 90s because it's just not quick enough to train magic. It's going to take way too long, and there are other better methods to choose from. Coming in at number 4 is actually something I would recommend doing at a lower level if possible, and that is killing lava dragons. Now this is something that's really good when you're very low combat because the main danger here is PKers, and that is the main problem. And what makes this balanced, when you're low level, almost nobody will be able to kill you here because they can't attack you. So when you're combat level like 10 to 20 is when you'll be your strongest and safest here. The money per hour can vary quite a bit based on the drops you get. Am I going to scare the shit out of somebody? No. And the XP per hour really depends on what spell you're going to use. Now the beauty of this method is you can bring whatever fucking gear you want. Like I'm bringing the fucking wizard hat, a Rim's robe top, and mystic boots. Like it doesn't fucking matter. Just bring stuff that you can afford to lose and doesn't risk it very much. You could probably get 30 to 40k an hour here with Fire Blast or Fire Bolt, and it's going to scale down based on what spell you're using. However, you will profit the most with the cheapest spell as well. So you really do have to be paying attention because PKers will jump on you a lot, and there's just no way getting around it. It is actually possible to safe spot them from over here if you want, and you can telegrab the loot. However, there is Vedion down here, which trolls you a bunch too, so it's kind of depends on what you prefer the most. You're a little bit safer down there, but really, if you do this at an off-peak hour where not as many people are playing and you're paying attention here, you can pretty much always log off on time, so it's not that big a deal. If I were to guess a GP per hour on a very low level, like maybe 40 magic and really low combat level, you're probably only going to get 300 or 400k an hour if you're uninterrupted. However, you can get upwards of 700, 800k an hour at higher combat levels, but there is a risk reward kind of deal there. Coming in at number 3 is actually the plank make spell. Now this one doesn't get used a whole lot, but I'm not really sure why, because if you actually use the spell on mahogany logs, you actually profit a bit every cast. You'll need the lunar diplomacy quest done as well as level 86 magic. We just have a price checker open here, so we can see the material cost to use one cast of this is about 2,000, and one mahogany plank is worth 2130. Now you can do about 1500 to 1800 casts an hour, which is going to net you somewhere in the range of 200k an hour, which money wise not that great, but XP wise you're looking at 130k to 160k an hour, somewhere in that range. And to use the spell is really easy, kind of click intensive though. So to use this spell, it's a pretty simple 1-to-1 ratio. One plank make equals one spell. There's not really any pro way to do this. You just kind of have to get used to the rhythm, make sure you're doing it on the right tick, and you can get quite a bit of XP per hour. The one drawback is you will need quite a bit of cash because actually casting the spell costs 1,000 coins, as well as the rune cost and the logs, but I would say well worth it, especially since you're going to be profiting. You can just sell the logs right back and just continue on. Coming in at number 2 is the Spin Flax spell. Now this one is particularly good as of recently. Because of the new Make All update, bowstrings have risen up in price quite a bit. So again, to do this quest you'll need to have lunar, so lunar diplomacy is a must to be done. On top of that, you'll need a bit of cash, but not a ton, and you will need 76 magic, so a bit lower than the other one. So we have a look at the price of the items here. You will need 2 nature runes, an astral rune, and you can do 5 flax at a time, bringing your prerequisite cost to about 600. And if we look at the price of 5 bowstrings, you're looking at about 780. So we're looking at 180 GP profit per cast, and you can do between 900 and 1000 an hour, so about 162k GP per hour, which isn't too bad. However, you're going to be getting between 60 and 75k magic experience. But the main benefit here is you're going to be getting an equal amount in crafting. So if you're getting 70k magic experience an hour, you're getting 70k crafting experience an hour, which is a huge benefit because crafting is normally really expensive and it's just a great way to level up your crafting. So to actually do this method, I would recommend having your runes as well as an extra item in your inventory, because you're going to be doing it in batches of 5. So you can't do 30, so 25 will be your best, and if you don't have an extra item, you can accidentally use this spell on just 1 flax, which will be a waste of money. But yeah, essentially, every cast is equal to 5 flax, so you have to cast it 5 times, and just count it, and you just have to get used to the timing. It's a lot easier with sounds on. So 4, 5, and then you're just going to bank your items, withdraw more flax. Easy as that, and great money making, great XP, and just a really good method overall. And coming in at number 1 is Ice Bursting, Dust Devils, or Necreals, or other monsters in the game, but I'm going to be doing this one as an example. So the Ice Burstings, you will need 70 magic as well as Desert Treasure done for the Ancient Magic spellbook. On top of that, you will need access to Korend and into the Catacombs, because this is the best way to kill them. For gear, there's a couple ways you can do it. I'm bringing investment robes, which actually give you a prayer bonus. They're kind of like the proselyte version for magic. And you will need a Slayer helmet or at least a face mask. Ideally, you do this on task, but you really don't have to. The reason this is break even is because the Dust Devils actually drop quite a bit of profitable stuff. Mainly, they drop a ton of battle staves or air battle staves. And on top of that, they also drop tons of runes, herbs, and coins that are actually add up to quite a bit per hour. And you also have a rare chance of getting a dragon chain body, very rare, and a dust battle staff. Also quite a few alkables, so I'm bringing some alk runes. And last up, you will also need darts or a ranged switch or something to aggro all the monsters together. First up, just throw on protect from melee, equip all your darts, and you just need to aggro all of the dust devils first. Don't need to really do any damage, and having a blowpipe is nice because it gives you a little more range. But then you have to actually waste Zalwar scales, which is not as ideal. Afterwards, you're going to switch back to your ancient magics, pop on Ice Burst, and basically you're just going to run into this little L shape here and wait for all of the dust devils to actually kind of meld into each other. Kind of takes a little while to get used to, but it's really not that hard. Once it's all stacked on each other, you can just attack, and you get pretty massive XP drops. So the XP here can vary a bit depending on how well you're doing this. But it goes pretty much from 100k to 150k an hour. Being on task is extremely helpful because you're going to do more damage. The effectiveness of magic equipment here is not extremely high. These guys have extremely low defense, so you're not going to notice a big difference between using stuff like the vestment robes and using magic gear. Unless you have ancestrals, in which case I would definitely go ahead and use that. You're mainly going to be doing this for the experience, but the profit is more of a break-even profit. Like, look, I already got an air battle staff. Your main cost is going to be the runes, but just make sure you pick up everything. That's including chaos runes and even rune arrows. Once you've killed the whole stack, you just go back to aggroing everything together. Now, the reason the bone crusher is really useful here is because these guys all drop bones, and every bone you bury in the Korend underground gives you 1 prayer point. So prayer potions are going to last an exceedingly long time. Like, I've only used 10 prayer points right now, and I've already been doing this for like a minute. So really, your prayer points are going to go a long way. You want to make sure you pick up the cash stacks here too. You can see there's a 5k coin stack on the ground. Honestly, if you want to make this even more AFK, you can even bring a ring of wealth, because picking up the kind of petty cash can be a little annoying. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Maybe you learned something. If you did, don't forget to toss the video a like. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one.